Good evening, everybody. This is Maria from Barefoot Holistics with you in mind, our weekly talk show with guests from all over the world, spiritual healers and light workers, here to help you through this trying times that we've been going through. And today's guest speaker is a lovely Mark from the UK, who is a wonderful person and Qigong teacher, Reiki master. And I'd like to welcome Mark to the show. If it'll let him in. Ah, there we go. Namaste and welcome, Mark. Hello.
Namaste.
Namaste.
How are you today?
I'm wonderful. How are you?
I'm very well. I'm a bit jealous of your beautiful background. I've got this stunning grey wall with all its glory.
Well, that's all right. This is the wonderful Cyprus. Sunshine. At least it's
gorgeous behind you.
It's cooler now. It was like 39, 40 degrees earlier. So
it's been crazy heat I've heard about.
Yeah. We've got people on already. So welcome, Maria, Catherine, and Natasha. Welcome.
Hello.
Welcome. Welcome. So this is Mark. And are you still living in Wakefield, Mark?
We are. We're still in the Wakefield postcode. As confirmed by the dog. The dog knows where we live. Nice one, dog. Yeah, we're based in Wakefield. We work in and around Wakefield, doing all kinds of various bobs and bitlets.
Yeah. So I've been doing some Qigong classes with Mark, so I can recommend him. Online classes, which is brilliant.
Good on.
I've actually looked at the video you sent me. I love the outfit. Is it what's it called? What is it called? The proper name?
Kind of thing. It's well, I just call it my outfit. I think the official name is something like a gi.
A gi, yeah.
It's just a lovely light kind of martial arts kind of outfit.
You look really.
It makes me feel all official. I feel so official. I feel like I can tell the trees to widen the stance and things like that when I'm in the nature in my suit. Hedgehog, you're not doing it properly. But yeah, I feel proper official in this.
Welcome, George. Welcome, Bex. So, Mark, I'd like you to tell us a little bit about yourself and how you came to be doing all this stuff.
All these shenanigans I carry on with. Right, my name is Shenaniganery. I'm a plum with shenaniganery. I love my shenanigans. Yeah, I'll crack on then. My name is Mark Whitmore. I'm lucky enough to help people with energy therapy in various forms. I do Reiki, try and do Reiki, if that's the right term for it. I work with Reiki. I do Qigong, try and do Qigong, work with Qigong. And I came to all that about 10 years ago. I was hospitalized due to various things. And they started doing Tai Chi in hospital with me, which I've now learned is a form of Qigong that I was actually doing back around 10 years ago. And I kept up with it. I kept up with it in little bits and bobs, kept going away from it and coming back to it. And I found it so I destroyed my body as a ground worker. I was a labourer for quite a few years and destroyed my knees, as labourers do, ground workers do, destroyed the bottom of my back. I was in constant pain. Getting stuck on toilets, getting stuck in bed, you know, all the typical kind of back pain stuff that goes with being absolutely destroyed from 12-hour labouring shifts. So I found it to be really helpful. So I just went forward from that and decided to learn as much as I could about it. And I found it to be really beneficial for my mental health as well, and the mental health of people in general, who I'm blessed to be able to work with, as well as my physical health. So I carried on with the Qigong. With Reiki, I just found it absolutely fascinating. I used to work with intuitive healing methods for a very, very long time, haphazardly. and totally without any real knowledge, perhaps putting myself at risk in hindsight by doing what I was doing. But I did that for a really long time. And I wanted to learn how the professionals do it. So I learned the proper way to do it, and I've never looked back. I find absolutely beautiful stuff. So that's how I came to do what I'm doing, how I'm blessed to be able to do what I'm doing now. It's for the love of it all, really. I just find it absolutely fascinating.
Yeah, Reiki's brilliant.
It's mad stuff. It is so cool. It really is. I never fail to be astounded by it.
I know. It's amazing what you can do with Reiki. People just don't realise the power of it, really. Welcome, Johnny, and welcome, Rob.
Oh, it's
yeah.
Hey up, Rob. That's my brother. Hey up, Rob.
Is it?
And Johnny's my brother from another mother. Yeah. I think it's that Johnny. Anyway, Joe Heim the Great. I'm not sure. I do know Johnny. But yeah, good to see you, Rob. Time to baffle your mind a little bit. We're not going to go too much into chakras and things like that and strange words that you can't fully get your head around.
I think everybody that's on here understands. I think anybody that's going to listen to these feeds will be on the ball.
Fabulous. It certainly helps me. Makes my job a lot easier. Because as you probably do know, sometimes when people come and they say, "Oh, I love being a Reiki." Oh, yes. Word for that. Amen to that, sister. I totally agree with that. And you'll know as well, when somebody comes in who's kind of just trying Reiki, then you have to go through the rigmarole of trying to explain Reiki to somebody. And to be perfectly honest, even though we've got all the theoretical kind of background for it that we had to learn in order to become practitioners, we still don't really know what it is. It's just ace.
It's just ace. It's
just ace,
energy.
Where it comes from. Yeah, it's out there. It's brilliant. It works. I've reikied a fish. I've reikied a mouse. I've reikied a horse. That were amazing. A dog, a cat, water, food. You can reiki anything, man. It's really, really cool. I've reikied a bee. One of the highlights of my life. I reiki.
My favourite thing is working with animals with the Reiki because they have no filter for it. They just absorb it, and they let you know when they're ready, when they've had enough. They just get up and walk off, you know. But animals have got no sort of filter to, I've got a mental blockage about, I want to hold on to this pain or anything like that, and so they don't put any barriers up to the healing. They just accept it wholeheartedly. I love that. Yeah.
And you can't alienate them, can you, with jargon? You can't say like, okay, I'm just going to call on, I don't know, that and the other, and then they go, whoa. I thought it was some kind of massage, and you're not going to be weird on me and stuff. It's like you don't have to do that with animals. And I like that they'll just, like you, walk off when they're done, don't they? It's like, right, that's it. That's my Reiki for today. And they generally walk off with a trump or something like that. Yep. It seems a bit crude, but like when I finish Reiki dogs in particular, they like to walk off and send me a full trump. Like, that was effective. I've detoxed.
That's my cleansing.
That feels like a success. It's one of the. If you learn Reiki, you'll learn how to make a dog pass wind. It's one of the benefits of Reiki.
It's not just dogs though. I don't know about you, but when I've got a client laid on my Reiki table and they fall asleep and they're either snoring or farting or burping or yawning,
Yeah, we're onto the nitty gritty now, aren't we? The bellies rumble, and they seem to rumble in conversation with each other. So their belly, like the client's belly, will, and then our belly, the practitioner's belly, will speak back and and you can see a little smile come across its face. And we're there trying not to laugh because we're supposed to be all kind of Reiki and stuff like that. It's not very Reiki to laugh during a treatment. But yeah, I have to stifle chuckles when people do that. I've never actually had anybody fully like pass wind in a major way on the treatment table. This is a good interview. I like this interview. Oh, you have?
This is why I'm saying it.
Have you?
Yeah. So you've got that to come yet. Enjoy. Just hope it's not while you're doing the root area and you're down that end.
You've just reminded me. I'm not going to kind of say exactly what happened with this, just in case the person is watching, but it has happened actually. You've just reminded me. You just put, you know, a word can generate a smell that generates a memory. That's what happened then. Yeah.
We have to giggle. We have to giggle.
Oh, it's got to be done.
I know.
That's part of kind of lowering the whole stress as well of life is humour and fun. It's so helpful. Just a smile, just a grin. I read somewhere that laughter can relax your muscles for up to 45. If you have a good hearty laugh and proper go for it, for 45 minutes following that kind of laughter, the muscles are still relaxed because it's like a release. You kind of tense up to laugh and so forth. And then when you've done, and you know that noise what people make when they finish laughing, when they go, it's like the muscles are doing that for 45 minutes afterwards. They're just going, just like 45 minutes into the distance, the muscles are still relaxing. That's one of the beauty. And just smiling, the simple act of an involuntary smile releases endorphins, all the good stuff, serotonin, dopamine, all that kind of jolly stuff. Oh, it is the Johnny. I'm sure that's the Johnny, the Johann the Great that I know very well. So even just a smile is just worth doing. If we go on to kind of talking about,
you're breaking up a bit, Mark. Try keeping still.
Sorry, Maria. We've got this little bit of a lag as well, so I keep accidentally kind of butting into your.
It's all right. It's normal. We're used to it now. It's because of the time lag. Just what I've noticed, if people try and keep as still as possible, it doesn't break up so much.
Okay.
Yeah, laughter is a big healer. Is laughter. I mean, you can break down.
Oh, it's
manic depression even like that if you can get them laughing. Even if just for a few moments, just to lift that energy, that vibration a little bit higher, and then it breaks that state. So,
I totally agree with you. And the thing is with people, with some people, especially given the current situation, and people who come to people like us with underlying anxiety and things like that, they can find it quite hard just to kind of take off that baggage to come and have a pamper session, be what kind of session it is. So trying to get them to chuckle is a bit of a mission of mine, to be honest with you. It's part of the whole hello, and I'm instantly on chuckle mode. I just would love to see them relax a little bit.
Same. I mean, it's part of the building the rapport with your client as well, isn't it? I mean, if you can get them to break that wall that they come in with, because they're a bit nervous, aren't they? They don't know what to expect if they've not done it before. Even if they have done it before and they've come to you for the first time, it's like, oh, you know, who's this person, blah, blah, blah. And it just breaking down that wall. So laughter's a big thing.
It is.
People think because we're therapists, we need to be stoic all the time, but it's part of the therapy.
That's what they think. They think that I'm just bonkers, to be honest with you. They'll be like, "Whoa, this guy's a bit too friendly. Stop making me feel better." And they kind of walk slowly out of the room backwards, going. And I'm like, "Please come back. I'm not gonna like I can be serious, but just for now, let's just relax."
Yeah.
It's a time and a place, isn't there?
It is. Yeah, Catherine mentioned about laughter yoga. I don't know if you've ever been to a laughter yoga class, but they are.
I was just reading that. So does the person at the front doing the laughter, do they have to force themselves to laugh, or do they
it's not actually yoga, but it's called yoga because of all the muscles that it works during them. We do different exercise because I thought about training in it, but I've been to a couple now. They are you get to that point where you know where your belly's hurting so much, you're laughing so hard.
Yep.
It gets to that point, and I love that feeling.
Have they got like a clown running around with a feather tickling people?
No, you do all these really silly exercises that they do, and basically you fake the laughter until it becomes a real laughter.
I can see that would work.
Yeah. If you Google it, and there might even be stuff on YouTube. I've never looked actually, but there might be some stuff on YouTube. But yeah, I've been to a lady over here that does it, and a lady in the UK that does it, and it's good therapy.
It's super cool therapy. I know there's very similar stuff in Qigong land as well, using laughter therapy, and in hospitals in China, especially on like terminal wards and things like that. They use laughter as part of the therapeutic process. I'm not sure how they go about it, but I'm sure it's very similar, where someone just bursts out laughing, because it's very infectious, isn't it? Is laughter.
Yeah.
And on the street who's just laughing, and it'll cause me to smile. I ain't got a clue what they're on about, but I'm still smiling. And then I smile even more because I look a bit bonkers because I'm smiling to myself, like in the middle of the street. And then someone will look at me and I'll smile even wider out of nerves. It's like a perpetuating thing. But yeah, it's used in serious therapies, isn't it? Laughter and smiling.
Yeah.
Some amazing.
So back to Qigong.
Yeah, sorry. Yes. Oh.
It's all right. It's all right. It's all right. We like these little diversions. It's all part of it. It's all part of the therapy.
That's it. That's it.
So Qigong. We'll talk a little bit about Qigong and the benefits.
Yeah, why not? Qigong's a very basic thing. A lot of people don't know much about it. Like, disregarding people on here who might not disregarding it. I'm not saying go away. You know about Qigong. Be gone with you. Bring someone who doesn't know anything. I'm not saying that. But most people I speak to do not know what it is. They haven't got a clue what it is. And the trigger word to help people understand the basic stuff with it is Tai Chi. Even though Tai Chi kind of originates from Qigong, Tai Chi is a martial art, and all the moves are kind of blocks and strikes and things like that. Whereas Qigong is a healing system primarily. Some of the movements are based on Tai Chi moves, which were based on Qigong moves, which makes a big circle. But circles are a big thing in Qigong, so there we go. But we don't focus at all on the martial arts kind of aspects of Qigong. You've got the slowed down breathing element of it, and slowing down your breathing really calms the nervous system, regulates your heartbeat, and has numerous other kind of benefits to it. Just the breathing element in coinciding with your movement has super duper amounts of benefits to it. I'm not going to get too kind of scientific. I'm not going to start naming bobs and bits and things like that. Hello, Pris. Hello, Holistic. Hello. So I'm easily distracted. I'm not going to get too kind of. I'm not going to get too into the kind of different kind of scientific processes, physiological processes that go on in the body during Qigong, because that stuff is out there. If you're interested, please research it a little bit. These benefits are real and they do help a lot. I've seen from personal experience the study as well, if you want to have a little look at how good this is for you. It's not like aerobic exercise, but the movements do develop muscular strength. They do develop density of bone and mobility. For mobility of the synovial fluid in your big joints, your cerebrospinal fluid, all that kind of good stuff. I didn't want to use too many daft words, but it is good. It is good. It works on all them areas. Very gentle. It's very easy to begin. You only need about 5 minutes a day of this stuff, and you'll start feeling the benefits within a few weeks. It does work rather quickly. But you've got to be diligent with it. Stick at it. It's worth it.
Yeah.
Age-wise, it's really hard to tell the age of Qigong. Sorry, Maria, were you going to say something?
All right, carry on.
Oh, sorry, I'm just on a waffle now. I can carry on like this for quite a long time, so please stop me if I need to.
Fine.
Yeah, the age of Qigong is a weird one because it's this. Like, please don't quote me on the exact years here. This is information I've stored in my memory that I haven't gone and re-researched. This is stuff that I read about quite a long time ago and looked into quite a long time ago. But apparently there is a picture of a bloke doing a maneuver from something called Baduan Jin, the 8 brocades, which is a Buddhist Qigong form, etched onto a tortoise shell that's believed to be around 4,000 to 4,500 years old. There's also pottery that's 2,500 years old, depicting similar kind of poses and similar movements from Qigong. Two of the core kind of places where Qigong was developed and came from is Buddhist monasteries and Taoist monasteries. So it kind of really, but the original kind of Qigong practitioners were shamans.
Yeah,
they practice animal styles and things like that. Well, the shamans have got a lot to answer for, really. You guys helped the midwives develop. You guys helped all kind of Qigong stuff develop, all this kind of tarot reading, divination, healing techniques, herbology, you name it, color healing. It just goes right back to the shamanic, indigenous shamanic cultures globally. Say again. Say again. Sorry, Maria, I didn't catch that.
Sorry, I'm just agreeing with you that it all stems back. That shamanic stuff is it stems back to the shamanic. So I'm just agreeing with you. Sorry. I'll just nod from now on and
no, it's fine. You're back. No, you're all right. It's that like, because I see your face move, you go, and then it goes. Brr, brr.
Yeah, it's like the old Chinese movies.
Yeah, it is. But yeah, it is a bit like that. I'm going. So yeah, we've got the shamans to thank for all that. With acupuncture, because it works on the internal energetic anatomy, not exactly like acupuncture, acupressure and things like that, but in a very, very similar way to acupuncture and acupressure and things like that. And the original acupuncturist, the translation from Chinese, the English translation will be bone shaman or thorn shaman, because they didn't have the equipment to make those fine little needles with the copper ends on them, all the way back thousands of years ago. So they literally use bits of twig, like nice bits of twig. I'm guessing they found something nice, pointy, and bits of bone.
And bits of bone. Nice. I was going to say I've not heard of twigs, but I've heard of bone. Yeah.
I think thorn shaman, isn't it? But again, this is just stuff from. I wouldn't be able to kind of. I'm not a professor of this kind of thing. This is just accumulated in my mind. But yeah, they'd use. I find that fascinating as well. They found the points on the thousands of years ago. Were able to locate them, piece of bone in them, and then they charge the bone or whatever they're using with their own chi. And that's how did they know the energetic pathways? It's like it's just so weird and fascinating as well. It is a fascinating thing, because now modern research kind of still won't fully get on with this energetic anatomy, yet we know the therapeutic benefits of acupuncture, we know the therapeutic benefits of Qigong. They all work. So it's there. It's just that
it's the human condition. We need to understand every little minute detail. That's the problem with the human condition. You know, instead of just accepting, like the animals, when we do them Reiki, they don't ask us a million questions like, oh, well, where does this energy come from? And how do you know it works? And they just go, oh, bliss. Loving this. Thank you.
Oh, that bit, left a bit. Yeah. That is bang right. That similar to what we were saying about Reiki. It's amazing stuff. We can learn how to do it, but at the end of the day, that energy is beyond anything we can properly comprehend. We get a very, very watered down little amount of it, but by crikey, the pool that must come from.
Well, Reiki is just chi at the end of the day. You know, in your Chinese
the key.
Japanese, it's ki. It's the same. It's exactly the same thing. So, you know, I think we complicate things.
It's still beautiful.
Yeah. Hi, Kathy.
Yeah. A natural human tendency to do so. Hello. It's a natural human tendency to do so. But my brain I've got one of those kind of brains that is quite analytical. So I'm a kind of almost obsessive studier, and I've been for quite a lot of years. And in order to do something like what with energy work, you have to very much balance the kind of theory with the practice. Because it's all right kind of reading 60,000 books and having all this information, but just 1 hour of practice is worth 3 months of reading if you're doing your practice. And I learned that. Yeah. I learned that the hard way, because you can stock up on all this information, but then when it comes to implementing it, intuition and the energy itself can take.
Absolutely.
There's Reiki in particular. There's no better teacher than Reiki itself.
Yeah. You cut out a bit then. We missed
Stuff.
the last bit then, but so we're about halfway through, more or less now, Mark. So did you have some exercises you wanted to show people? Has anybody got any, before we do that? Has anybody got any questions so far? I didn't hear that, Mark.
No, that weren't me. That I didn't say anything there.
Okay.
That was in the kitchen. We've got the family in the kitchen next door doing stuff and things.
All right.
I don't think that's okay. So we're ready for a little play. Am I ready to rock on with it, Maria?
Yeah, I don't see any questions coming in. So if anybody has got any questions, just please put them in there and Mark will answer them.
Please feel free to do so. And while that happens, we're going to talk about breathing and movement for positive mental. Some of you may or may not know this. I work at the local psychiatric ward when I'm allowed, helping out with the people in there. Because of the situation at the moment, I get to do that now over the phone. So I still get to be involved, which I'm really grateful for.
Yeah.
So that's why I want to talk about mental health. I've been volunteering in the mental health sector for a few years now. Okay, so let's just have a little think about this situation. Is it good for pregnant women? Certain kinds of Qigong are yes. There are some kind of precautions you have to take when doing Qigong if you're a pregnant woman. If you'd like to talk about that in a little bit more depth, I'd love to talk about that separately, because there are a few little bits and bobs you have to bear in mind if you are pregnant. But it is very good for you if you're doing the right movements, the right form, and things like that.
Yeah.
Question.
Brilliant.
But yeah, it's quite a deep subject, so I will speak about that maybe after in the comments or something. Okay. So yeah, given the situation we're in now, I've got a very good friend who's in hospital at the moment, who I met through the program I work through, the befriending service.
Yeah.
And I get to speak to him quite regularly. And these people in kind of, I'm going to call it, they're in hospital basically, and the doors are locked and they can't get out. So when this COVID situation first arose, these people only knew about it through the news, and the panic that the staff, the NHS staff, which are absolutely legendary. I know the nurses and the managers on the ward really, really well. They're absolute diamonds, honestly.
Yeah.
But they panicked as well because everything was so unsure. And they kind of had to make sure the patients is not my favourite word, I do apologise for that. The people on the ward didn't mingle with each other, and the wardens, or for want of a better word as well, the kind of nurses and things like that, didn't mingle with patients. So what they had to do was lock all the doors. They put locks on the outside of the doors, and I know they didn't actually kind of lock them in. But because of the unsure, the point of this is how unsure it all was at the beginning. Because of how unsure they were about how they were going to proceed with this, because these have to be in close quarters, which were there at the end of the day, and they didn't know how things pan out. So they put locks on the doors. Long story short, they didn't have to use these locks, but it sent my friend into quite a panic, until they figured out a few days later how to deal with all this, because it did come out of nowhere. So that panic was a producer of what many people know is cortisol, the stress hormone, which we do not need. Now, on a global scale, which this has happened, that is just a tiny example of the panic right at the beginning. In a situation that is kind of unusual for most people, but it really brought it home to me how much everybody must have felt that globally. Now, huge anxiety, huge frustration, huge mental health issues, catastrophically immense. It is getting beyond the joke. It really is. And it's not our fault. I don't really want to blame the media because they're just reporting the news, but it's all sensationalism. And I'm not underplaying how serious. I know. I'm not underplaying the seriousness of the situation, but how it has been, how the information has been relayed to people is really unfortunate. We could have been better educated over a period of time. They've noticed the COVID itself has been in the knowledge of the scientific community since the 1950s. They've been testing on it since the 1960s. We get to find out 10 minutes before it walks through the door, and all the supermarkets are going. Well, people in hospitals are.
This is why I started doing these feeds, Mark, because people were just in panic and in stress, and you know,
yeah,
they needed something, and I was guided to do these. So,
doing the right thing.
To try and not just even just for an hour, just to take their minds off that.
Yeah. It's coming full circle. You'll see it will come back round. You'll see where I'm going with this. So that's the situation we'll find ourselves in, with an increased levels of cortisol in our body.
Yeah.
So beautifully, the holistic therapist community, shamans, Reiki masters, Qigong practitioners, Tai Chi practitioners, acupuncturists, and the healthcare service as well, all popped out the cupboard, which is absolutely amazing. And I'm finding free classes left, right, and centre, free information left, right, and centre, free therapies left, right, and centre.
Yeah.
And what warmed my heart was the amount of people what just stepped forward and said, hang on a minute, I've got something here that might be able to help you, and you. But all you have to do, me. Now we've got this beautiful platform, we've got the internet now, and that makes things a lot. But what I did find, my heart was warmed by this. Literally, kind of 2-3 days after, all my friends who work in this kind of job started saying, "Okay, right, money's out at the window. We just want to help. Please come and see me. Please come and see us. We can help you.
Yes.
Please come and see." If you haven't experienced Reiki treatments, if you haven't experienced any kind of shamanic work, if you haven't experienced what it's like to work with the angels, if you haven't experienced any kind of alternative treatment, everybody's stood outside the front door at the moment going, hang on a minute, come over here, we've got something for you. Please don't worry about money. Please don't worry about time. We've got the internet. We can find 15 minutes, we can find half an hour anywhere. Yeah. The world really did come out to try and lower. This was the backlash of the increased cortisol levels that were going on. We could see that, we could feel that. Everybody could see and feel that. You don't have to be kind of empathic, or you don't have to kind of have any kind of extrasensory perception, for want of a better description, that everybody has felt this. Everybody has felt it. So what we want to do, let's get all that out the window now. I'm just shoveling out all them facts, and we're going to talk about lowering your stress levels, lowering your cortisol. This can be done over a period of time.
Still, Matt, with breaking up.
I do apologise. I'm sorry. I'm naturally very wiggly.
I know.
I do have.
Me too. I have to like.
I'm stuck kind of in my. I'll just zoom down at this position to try and keep myself still, but it's not working. To lower your stress levels is as simple as relaxing, but you have to go out of your way to relax. You have to create time for yourself. You have to create time to love yourself, appreciate yourself, and give yourself the time that you need, because we are caring for other people left, right, and centre. We're talking about mums, we're talking about grandmas, we're talking about everybody here that is automatically, because of this cortisol thing, their fight and flight systems are in action, and they need to protect, need to nurture, need to look after everybody else. So take all that away from yourself and think about you just for 1 minute. Have a little bit of a think about that, because everybody's putting themselves to one side. Okay, so what I want you to think about is your breath. Get to the position where your chest is freed up and your abdomen is freed up, a bit of wiggle room, create a little bit of space there. So a few little facts for you. This space here, allow your spine a little bit. Don't be too kind of hard on yourself about your posture. It's not massively important. You just need a little bit of wiggle room. So slowing down the breath has proved benefits for lowering your stress levels. Meditators have known this for a very long time. Anybody who practices any kind of meditation techniques knows that slowing down the breath, that simple action, lowers stress. And what you're also doing for yourself there is you're giving yourself some love. You're giving yourself some time. You're speaking to your body's speaking back. It's a very, very simple process, but it's got so many benefits for you. I've got a little sheet here I was going to refer to because I want to make sure I get my numbers right. So slowing down of the breath is supposed to give you a longer life. According to the Taoists, slowing down your breath is part of the way to get the eternal elixir, which is the secret to longevity. For example, a tortoise, they're pretty cool creatures. Everyone knows what one is, I hope. And they live for ages, man. And they only breathe 4 times a minute, and they live up to 150 years old. If we go to the other end of the scale, we've got that live 6 years, and they breathe 70 times a minute. Now, in between the tortoise and the guinea pig, you've got whales that live to 110, and they breathe 6 times a minute. And then we've got elephants that live to about 60 years old. They breathe 18 times a minute. So you're seeing the pattern here. I'm sure it's not across the board, this. I'm sure it's not every single creature. I'm not sure how fast an insect breathes or a slug, but I know they don't live very long, so probably quite quick. But just to put it into perspective, slowing down your breath slows down everything. It slows down your whole physiological kind of system, slows down your thoughts, and slowing down your thoughts is #1 for mental health, looking after your mental health. So you've got your breath, you've got your freed up, and you're freed up. Now all you need to do is send your breath firstly and have a nice deep breath into your upper abdomen, and just take 3 through the nose, 3 nice breaths. And what I want you to try and do is slow down on each breath, just a very tiny bit. And as you exhale, this is an important element of it. As you exhale, exhalation is release. It's letting go. As you exhale, I want you to feel that sigh of relief that comes naturally when you have a sigh of relief. Usually a sigh of relief is a result of frustration. It's a result of kind of anger. It's like, that's more of a sulk. That's more, but a real kind of sigh. I'll try and do a sigh of relief as an example. So that was a sigh of relief. That was nice. So what we're able to is 3 real sighs of relief. Yeah, and to really get it, things drip out of your body. Exhale and feel it all. Feel your body physically, emotionally, and mentally just relax back into your imaginary bed. So I'm going to do this now. I'm going to have 3 lovely breaths, and feel free to knock yourselves out and do the same thing, but don't actually knock yourselves out because it's frowned upon to knock yourself out. Just breathe. Breathing's fun. Okay, guys, I'm going to go for it. Nice big breath, upper abdomen. By the way, when you breathe into the upper abdomen, you are putting pressure on the diaphragm, and your diaphragm is optimum for healthy lungs. Also, when you put pressure on your abdomen, the diaphragm presses on your internal organs, also spinning out any kind of rubbish, giving them a slight little massage. Also, when you expand the chest, you've got a little lymph duct here in the chest, and to kind of put pressure on that will activate that lymph duct. And lymph is good stuff. So this simple action has so many benefits. So I'm going to go for it now before I find any more benefits.
Okay. We're following Mark.
Feel yourself sink. When you're kind of your final breath, if you do repeat that, just take a moment to be still, because you'll be able to snatch that moment of stillness that is there on the end of that final breath. Be at peace, be there with it moment, and that is what you're looking for on a daily basis to reduce your stress levels. This is one technique, just a simple few breaths. Now we can expand on that very, very slightly by sending your breath and allowing it to fill your whole abdomen and to your back as well. So when you do your deep inhale, allow your belly to really fill and allow yourself to feel that pressure on your lower back and all the way around this midriff, and that will intensify the release because you're giving your internal organs even more of a kind of a squeeze. When you release and you exhale, you're releasing that pressure, that compression on the internal organs as well. And the physical thing, I mean, it's really nice to feel dripping away of stress and tension. And that's what you're looking for. Set your intent there, go out there and grab it. Breathe in good stuff, replenishment, healing, peace, all the things that you like. Just set a few simple intentions on your inhale, like peace and quiet, something really beautiful and simple like that. And on your exhale, remember to physically let yourself get that relaxation as a natural part of that process. And you can really intensify it by letting your intent do that work for you. So that's breathing, a little bit of breathing to help you with stress relief. This is the sort of thing that can be done to lower stress on the spot. If you're in a supermarket and you've got anxiety, forget the world around you. Just have 3 deep breaths. All you need is that 15 to 30 seconds to say, giving yourself a shake. You're like, come here, mate, to yourself. Pretend you're you and you're you. So you go up to you, you say, come here, mate, just come here, have a minute. Put your hands on your own shoulders. Say, look, I'm here with you now. Just have a minute, calm down. We'll get round the supermarket. That idiot over there that's sneezing all over everybody, just get out of his way and relax. Take your breaths and let the anxiety go away, let it reduce. And I can guarantee you, if you do this properly with enough kind of intent, you'll get the benefit of it straight away. So that's one little thing. I've got a couple of other little exercises to do. If it's okay, Maria, to move on to a little bit of something else.
Yeah, we've got 20 minutes, so we've got time.
Okay. I'll quickly go through a couple more bits and bobs, and if I'll make sure that we've got a bit of room at the end for a few questions. Okay, so that's lowering cortisol, increasing lymph, and all them kinds of bits and bobs. So a few other tips actually for reducing cortisol: sleep, disorganized sleep, interrupted sleep, insomnia, and all them kind of things are terrible for your cortisol levels. And I know it's not as simple as get more sleep, but one way to get more sleep is light exercise. Nothing that stresses the nervous system, nothing that leaves you in aches and pains for days afterward, nothing that exhausts you mentally or physically, just light, gentle exercise. This can be something as simple as like Qigong. Yeah, definitely like Qigong. Or like your basic like light cardio workouts and things like that, like your low impact stuff like half star jumps and things like that with one leg and one arm and then on the other side. Just light exercise, just mobilizing your joints, mobilizing muscles, just to kind of encourage tiring yourself out a little bit. So to help you sleep. Alongside that is your diet. Try and get light exercise and keep an eye on your sugar and salt intake as well. That will help you sleep as well. And be the best you can be for you without being hard on yourself. Because creating the kind of destructive internal dialogue are a big problem in the world at the moment. And the only way to kind of defeat that, it can happen over something simple. Spilt milk is quite literally here. You may have had something really comfortable happen to you 10 years ago that you kind of forgot about and got on with life with. And then over this 10 years, that's going to build up and bubble until you spill some milk. And then you're going to be effing, blinding, expleting, and getting proper rage on because you spilt the milk all over the dog or something. Yeah. I don't know. Spill milk on the dog. Oh, no. Just be easy on yourself at that life. Really, just be nice to yourself. Stop being. It's so common to beat yourself up if you do something wrong. I'm guilty of it, and most of the people who we get to work with are guilty of it. So it's about being easy on yourself. That's probably exactly. Give yourself a break, and to do that, recognize your thoughts. Have a minute. You know when you go into that destructive dialogue, spot it. Put your hands on your shoulder again. Call yourself over. Go, come here, me. And get me to come over to me, put your hands on your shoulder and go, look, man, I've got you. I know you're a bit of a dongle for getting milk all over the cat, but the cat likes milk. Take your hands off your shoulders and give yourself a break, okay? Just try, it's about coming from within. You smile from the heart outwards. Everything comes from inside outwards. Right,
Yeah,
so for the next
absolutely.
exercise, this has got a little bit of movement involved in this one.
Good.
Very, very gentle bit of movement. It can be done seated, it can be done standing up, or it can be done lying down. Okay, okay. So just quickly on the kind of three dantian, we've got within Qigong, we've got the lower dantian, the middle dantian, and the upper dantian, which is around this position here, right, where I is. So a common energy practice is that when you're stressed or when your mind's overactive, this area here is overactive and can get flooded with too much information. The eyes, in particular, damn you eyes, are responsible for a lot of stress because we're always staring at computer screens, focused on these things, these computer screens. The stress of the world is transmitted through this. So a lot of stress gets accumulated in here, which comes down into the neck and the shoulders. So we're going to go straight for the source. So in your seated, comfortable position, with your posture gently aligned, what I'd like you to think about is when you inhale, I'll just run through it first, and then we'll try it in practice with the components in there. When you inhale, you're going to bring your hands up as if you're hugging a giant cloud, balloon, ball, tree, dog, cat, maybe like an elephant leg, something you really like. You're going to hug something you love basically as you inhale, but you're going to pull that inhale and your hug up to the third eye. You don't have to necessarily, I'm trying to line myself up with the camera here, you don't have to necessarily touch the third eye if you don't want to. That is entirely up to you. But yeah, so yeah, I'm just going to find the name of that point in Yin Tong. Sorry, I had to find that point. That's why I kind of stuttered there a little bit because I knew that the name of this point in Qigong was probably worth mentioning. It's called the Yin Tong. That's what we call the third eye, the acupuncture point here, the Yin Tong. Okay, okay. So you're going to inhale, hugging your elephant's leg, your cloud, your dog, or member of family, whatever you like. But it's a beautiful thing. So come up and inhale that. As you're inhaling that, you're inhaling cleansing, replenishment, peace, calm, healing, any pleasant word that really resonates with you. Bring the Kotadama, the spirit, the essence of that word. A tree, yeah, it's a big old tree. You have to get your strength in there to pull it up. The essence of that word is what you want. You don't want the word. You don't want like peace. You want the feeling of peace. So get right into the nitty gritty of the word. If you want to inhale love, don't think the word. Feel the emotion, the Kotadama, the spirit of the word that you're trying to work with. So please, when you inhale, pull in that stuff to around the third eye, and as you exhale, I want you to gently pull it down to around your lower abdomen. So you inhale, make this big, I'm just kind of, so you can see what my arms are doing here, I'm just wobbling about a little bit. I'm hugging a tree, okay? I'm really strong, I'm like Chuck Norris. I've pulled this tree from the ground. It's the tree of love, peace, and healing. So I'm inhaling that. Tree of life, yeah. Good old life. There we go, on my arm. So I'm inhaling that to that position. As I exhale, feel that release that we spoke about in the initial exercise, that kind of letting go, and allow your heart to smile from the inside all the way through. So a smile from here out. Okay. So inhale, cleansing to the third eye, and then you're dissipating and removing some of that fog by splashing the good stuff in there. So get your tree, don't headbutt your tree, simply bring that good energy in and bring it down your system, smiling from the inside out. So I'm going to do a few of these now. If you'd like to join me, please feel free to do so. As I say, just make sure you've got enough room around you. Seated, standing, or lying down, you can do this. Start with a big hug, as if you're going to hug somebody you really love. But stop around there at the third eye, at the yin tong, as they call it in acupuncture. And I'll check the time. We've got 10 minutes. I'll just do 3 of these, but please remember these exercises because it will really help you to get 5 minutes of this a day, and it really will. Okay, guys. Okay, inhaling, cleansing, exhaling, release. Inhaling, cleansing, exhaling, release. One more. Inhaling, cleansing, exhaling, release. And when you've done that again, when you get that little moment of quietude at the end of it, really do be with that. Try and let that moment of quietude, try and be right in with that, because that is really good therapeutic stuff for you as well. And there's a mindful element to everything. When we're doing the breathing at the beginning, your mindfulness is on your breath. So you're sending away the external distractions, and you're working on the internal movement. So you've gone mindful and you're working on yourself. Same with this. Forget everything and just be with you. Just be with yourself.
Beautiful, Mark. Thank you.
Oh, thank you very much. Thank you.
Hope
you didn't all fall asleep.
No, Tassamul, you're online. I hope you felt that.
Well, then I'm going. Oh, yeah.
So, has anybody got any questions?
Say again, sorry, Maria.
Has anybody got any questions for Mark before we close up tonight? If you want to tell them about your Qigong classes that you've got going online.
Oh, yes. Yep. We do online Qigong classes, which you can access from anywhere, obviously, but all you need is a computer. I'm hoping that we can get in the real world, to be honest, Maria, at some point. So
you're breaking up, dude. We've lost you.
we do one.
No, you're back.
We lost so I can help people with their postures and things. But what we are finding is that the information is translating quite well.
We lost you.
Over the internet. Traditionally, this really should be done in person, but people are getting the benefits of the Qigong. And I went, all right, still going. Yeah, so we teach the breathing techniques, the move.
Frozen,
movements, the internal alchemy.
Mark, you're frozen. Is he frozen for you guys, or is it just me? Yeah, it's gone. I'll be back.
Does it matter if you go too relaxed? Hello, I think I'm back. I disappeared then. Yeah, so you get the meditative aspect, the physical exercise.
Mark, repeat everything you just said, because we didn't hear any of it. Are you frozen? Oh. Try coming out and let me take him out and bring him back in. See if that does it. Any better? No. Mark, can you hear me at least? Oh, Mark, if you can hear me, can you come out of the feed and come back in? That might, sometimes it does it. Oh dear. Okay. Well, I'm sure we can add Mark's. Well, on the YouTube you will see that Mark's link to contact Mark privately if you'd like to join his Qigong classes, which I can highly recommend. I'm not actually doing them at the moment because of the heat during the day, but I will be picking it back up in the autumn. Hi, Tasha. So yeah, if anybody would like to contact Mark, then you can find him on Facebook at Beyond Healing. And I think, nope, he's gone, totally gone. See if he'll come back in. Thanks, Catherine. Hope you're feeling better, sweetheart. Rob, regarding your question, I'm not sure what you're talking about, whether it's to do with Qigong or just meditation or on the breathing. You want to elaborate? Maybe I can answer. I'm not a Qigong master or anything, but I might be able to help, or somebody else might be able to advise. Or maybe Mark will see this question after and answer it. So I'm just going to give it another minute and see if he comes back on. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. If it's your first time with us, thank you so much for joining, and I hope you'll join us again sometime. Please feel free to subscribe to our channel on YouTube, where you'll see there's lots and lots of videos, including Pre did one a few weeks ago, and Catherine, who's on here as well. And it says device not connected for Mark. Let's see. Oh, here he is. Yeah, welcome back, Mark.
I do apologise for that. I'm not sure what happened there.
It's all right, love. It's just the internet, you know. Yeah. So I don't know if you.
One of those things, isn't it?
I've just been saying that you know, they can find you on Beyond Healing on Facebook.
Sorry, someone just came in and opened the door then, and I couldn't hear you either. I'm getting very intermittent signal here.
It's all right, love. I've just let everybody know that they can find you on Beyond Healing on Facebook if anybody would like to join your Qigong classes online. You've got a question.
Thank you very much,
Rob. I don't know if you can see the question that's on the screen.
If you get too relaxed. Yeah, I've got that. Does it matter if you get too relaxed? As you know I do, would that cause any damage? If you are doing Qigong and you get into really deep relaxation and you stood somewhere beautiful, like on the edge of a cliff, I wouldn't recommend getting too relaxed, because if you fall off the cliff, that could cause serious damage. But apart from that, the more relaxation, the better.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you, Catherine. Thank you very much. Thank you. Yeah, we've got a few coming up as well, Catherine. I'm looking forward to getting up on them as well.
I know I'm feeling left out.
On the relaxation,
I'm missing it all.
Yeah, but I'm going to see you as soon as possible as well. As soon as you're in a suitable environment for practice, because with Qigong, if it's too hot, if you've got any extremes of weather, whether it's too cold, too hot, too windy, or anything like that, it's totally counterproductive. So you're doing the right thing, waiting until you kind of it's cool.
I mean, I could do it sort of this time of night, but by this time of night, I'm just too tired to. I just want to eat my dinner and you know, go watch Netflix.
Yeah, that's one of my favourite evenings. That is just to eat food and watch TV for a bit. But as soon as you're ready, though, we'll get it rocking. I can't wait to get back on it. I'm looking forward to seeing Catherine again as well. Because the thing was, everyone was doing really, really well. Into it, and everyone's movement were getting really. So it's worth coming back to.
Oh God, yeah. I mean, I've got the video now as well. So on an evening, if I get if I'm not as tired, well, I mean, I could have done it tonight actually, because I had that 2 hour sleep this afternoon. So I might do some tonight. But I have done it a few times, like early morning when I've been up at 6 o'clock. I've done it on the morning just for 10 minutes, but I've done it. Yeah.
That's brilliant. That is the best time of day as well when you go.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
set yourself up for a good day there. That's what I try and do, to do it first thing in the morning. Sometimes I've got a child hanging off the lampshade, something like that, so I might have to postpone it, but I try and get it in as angry as possible. Haha,
Yeah.
the angry French has arrived. Dear me. Yeah, I left the door open there, Natasha, and she and
Right,
she just had
guys.
to have a word with the kids. I'm like,
We'll wrap it up here. Thank you again, everybody, for joining us. Thank you, Mark. It's been fascinating and funny and lovely to see you again. And
good to see you. Thanks for having me.
And if anybody would like to do one of these lives with us, we're actually booking for July now. We've got nothing booked in for July because I'm quickly running out of people that I know that does that are willing to do one anyway. Because I've still got people that I know, but they're not willing to do it. You know, too scared. So, and I like
It's cool. I've got to admit, I was nervous, uncharacteristically, because I'm used to performing in front of people and stuff. So it's unusual, but it's definitely worth doing it. If you're thinking about it, anybody go for it. It's lovely, really lovely.
Yeah. Right, guys, thank you very much. Namaste. Love you all. Thank you for joining us.
Namaste.
Oh, hang on.
Take
Somebody's
care,
saying
darling.
something. Thank you.
Hey, cheers.
Thank you, Johnny.
I'm looking forward to seeing you tomorrow, John. I'll give you that fiver.
Thank you, everyone. Love you, Tasha. Miss you. Okay, bye, guys. Namaste, Mark. See you soon.